clouds. So yeah. So whenever you are trying to open a company, if the company already existing here, you can just simply select the company and click open. But since we are working with the practice exercises and the practice exercises, we have the portable file. So what we are doing, we'll be selecting open or restore a company from here, and then restore a portable file because we have the portable files of different companies. Then we click next, and now it's asking me where I want to save this QuickBook file or where I can find the QuickBook file. So there are two questions whenever we are trying to open or save it. The two questions are there. So it is right now it's asking for where from where I can open the portable company file. So I have saved all of my like all of my exercises in classes in progress. I click it, and here's my folder where all the practice exercises are there. So we will be working with DYS chapter 4. So I'll be going to all the way DYS chapter 4, and I'll select it. Once you select it, click open, and then click next. So now it will be asking two questions. Number one is what name do you want to give? So let's say if we are working with a real company, we will be giving it this name as the name of the company. But right now we are practicing, so I'm just giving my name as the like next to the exercise name, so that we can work with it. So I just give it a name,
You
and
can give the name as a banking or
I
no?
have given it a name, like it was already there. Device chapter 4 company was already there. So I just write my name Raza so that I know that this is the exercise that I have done. Otherwise, I'll be having a lot of exercises, but I will not know whether it is done by me or it was like the pre-recorded classes, like, or you can say the exercises that is not yet completed by us. So I always put my name. So I don't know how many classes I've taken. So I'm just for the safe side giving this a name as number 6, and then we need to save it to somewhere in our computer. So it's about device chapter 4. So we can just simply click this PC. In this PC, we are selecting it as name of customers. And here we can save the name of the company. But right now, we can save it anywhere. But right now, we can save it here. I just realized that we have created one more folder specifically for the classes in progress. So I can go there and then I can save it. So which is Monday to Wednesday, and I can save it here. Click save. So now it will be saved. So until it's saving, I'll just watch out. I'll look for your screens, and then we move forward. So let me pause. So today our topic is banking in QuickBooks. So let's start working with the exercise, which is we have already opened the exercise, which is chapter 4, and now we'll be working with the first exercise that we are doing in banking is transfer of funds from one account to another. Uh, but before starting in this class, we'll be learning how to work with banking transactions, like how to write the checks, how to process the check, like how to print the checks. If you make a mistake, how you can correct it in the check. Sometimes the checks are bounced in the banking, how you can make void those transactions, how to pay using your credit card, how to pay using your debit card, and how to receive payments using how to receive payments and depositing into the account. So all of these things will be covering in the banking. And of course, if there is a mistake, like if you have created a transaction using your check or something, how you can make that transaction corrected using the debit card or something. We'll also learning how to void a check. Let's say sometimes some of the customers check does not pass, like they don't have funds in their account and they issue us the check, and then the check bounced from the other bank. Then how to update that part in our QuickBooks. So all of these things we'll be learning in our class today. So the first exercise that we are doing is transfer of funds. So so you see we have let me show you this thing here. We have the same way, like we have vendors here, customers here, and employees here. Company is here, and the banking is on the right side here. Just let me maximize the screen. I don't know why it looks a little bit different. Yeah. So you can see here that all the transactions that can be done with the banking are here. But as I told you always, that some of the items which are not available, you can always go on the tab here, banking, and you will find it. So If you remember the Excel or the Word, they have the option of quick access toolbar where they have the where you can put some of the important items that you're using more frequently. The same way in the QuickBooks, this is your quick access toolbar. So all the options that you are using most of the time are in front of you. So in banking, we are using these 6, 7 options all the time. So they are here. But let's say if you want to do some other, like some other, if you see what are the other options available while working in banking, these are available in the banking tab. If you click it, so you can see that's 4 and 3, 7 and almost 4, 11. So there are 11 transactions that you can do, or 11 different type of process that you can perform using in the banking. But in the face of it, you can only find like 6 or 7 items, or 6 items that you can see here. So yeah, so let's start working with the first process. So first item or first exercise is to transfer of funds from one account to another. And here you can see there are only 6 item and none of them is helping us doing the transfer. So you can always go to the banking, click it, and then you can see here transfer funds. So just click transfer funds. It only asks like uh, like technically 3 questions. The number 1, from which account you want to transfer. Number 2, to which account you want to transfer, and how much money you want to transfer. That's it, nothing else. So you are updating the date as the first thing is 12/18/23, 12/18/23, and then which account from you are will be transferring from. So it is checking account, so it is correct here. Tab, and then you are transferring to your savings account. So just click the savings account here, and then how much money you are transferring? It is $1,000. So technically, if you see, it's only 3 questions. Forget about the date. Like date is, of course, we are when we are working in the real world, it will be the current date that we are doing the transactions. So technically, what you are doing here, you are seeing that from which account the money is transferring from which account this money will be transferred to, and how much money that you want to transfer. That's it. Once you click it, and then just say save and close. So we have only transfer. We only want to do one transaction. So just save and close. That's it. So the next transaction that we'll be doing in the banking is about like okay. So first let's check that whether we have whatever the transaction we have done is impacted in our balance sheet, or you can say in our assets and liabilities account or not. So let's say our assets and liabilities uh, are actually in the chart of account. So just click it. In the chart of account, you see the checking account. If you double click, and then you see on on 18, I think 18th of December, the funds were transferred from this account to savings account. And then you can see here 1,000 is transferred from current account, and it says that it transferred to savings account. So just close it. And if you want to see the savings account, just click it. And then you can see that the funds on 18th of December, the funds are transferred from checking account, and then the amount was $1,000. And now the balance has changed from 5,000 to 6,000. So this is one of the like once you are doing the transaction, you want to make sure that the amount is really impacted. So we have checked it here. So the next exercise they want to see is, or they want us to make sure is, let's say if I want to see any of the transaction happen in the past, so that we can do in a similar way. Let's say if I want to see there was a bill we have paid from our checking account, that was a bill of 1257. It was done in 20th of November 2023. So we can just simply double click the current checking account, and then in this one, the transaction was done on 20th of November. So always remember that in QuickBooks, our transactions are date wise. So you can always see in the dates on 20th of November 2023. Uh, the transaction is visible here. It has gone to Ricky Electric. The bill payment was done how much? 1257. So we have seen that 1257 was a check number. Sorry, invoice number was 1257, and the transaction was appearing here. So yeah, that we can make sure that the transaction was done. So just in case if you want to search for any transaction, just click that account, a specific account, and then you can watch for that transaction inside that account. Yeah. So the next exercise we are doing here is actually we are updating some of the accounts. How you can update those accounts is like the same way. If you remember when we were working with the customers, we click the customers and then we select the customer or vendor, and then we just simply right click and then see. Sorry, I just did it a little bit faster. Right click and then see customer, or you can go up and then you select the customers because you are in customers center, so you are doing all the transaction and those were giving you the option of making changes in the customers. The same way, if you are in the vendors, so let's say if you are in the vendor center, and then if you want to make any changes in the vendors, just simply you will be clicking edit, and then you can edit vendor, or you can just right click and then you can click the edit vendor. Another way of making changes in the vendor is double clicking. This double click doesn't work in the chart of account or items and services. But yes, if you want to edit vendor or customer, you can also double click that vendor in customer. Uh, but yes, the other two options like clicking the edit button and clicking the right click will work for the chart of account as well. So if you are in the chart of account, simply if you want to edit any of the item, you can just either go to edit option here, click it, and then you will find all the options for editing in the chart of account, or you can do the right click and then you also got the same option available here. And in this one, you cannot double click because once you double click, it will open you the ledger, or you can say the register of this specific account. So in this one, we have a specific button on the downside, which gives you the option of edit account. So you can work with this option. So let's start working with the chart of account, and here we are editing the the savings account. So we are updating some of the information. Let's say once we open the saving account, we did not have much information available. And right now we got some of the good information and we want to update that part in our books. So very easy. Simply select the savings account first because you want to edit it. Either select from the downside and click edit account, or you can go all the way up, select the edit and then click edit account. Or you can just simply or you can simply right click and click the edit account. All the ways will work. And then you can just simply go to uh, like here we are updating the name of the savings account, which is Riverbank Savings Account. Riverbank Savings Account. And then the bank account number is 5 times 2 and 5 times 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the routing number is 599 222 043 043. And then let's say if you are transferring your data from manual ledgers or some other accounting software and you are updating QuickBooks for the first time, you have the option of updating that amount here. Change opening balance. And then right now, because the account is already created, so you don't see it here. But if the account is not already created, once you click it, you will be finding the opening balance and the date. So you can update that part. So once we find anything like that one, like if there's no opening balance, then I'll show you how to work with that one. But right now, the account is already there, and the transactions already happened in this one. So directly go into that one. But right now, we are not changing it. But if any transaction comes in where there is no opening balance, then I will show you how to update that one. So simply save and close, and it's done. So now we are updating. Let's say, let me show you here. Owners, no, not here. So now the next topic is actually we are updating some of the information. Oh, we are adding our new account, like that is the credit card account. So adding a new account is simple. Just go to edit, click new account, right? Or you can just right click and select new. So all the way you can see that for each item, either it's an editing an account or new account, or let's say deleting an account, all the time you will be getting three items or three ways of doing the same transaction. So again, the same thing. If you want to create a new account, just click it and then click new account, or you can just right click and then click new account, or you can go all the way down and then select new account. So all of these three things possible for you to create a new account. So we are creating a new account of credit card, click new, So here you can see income expense. So these are not our account that we are looking for. We are looking for credit card. So let's say fixed assets is not our desired account. Bank is not the one. Loan is not the one. Credit card is the one that we are looking for. Just in case if you don't find your account that you're looking for in this place, you can always click the other accounts. And then you can see account receivable, other current assets, accounts payable, liability. So you have a lot of other information available here that you can select. So just in case if you don't find the option here, if you don't, if your item that you are adding is not matching with any of these, always select other account types, and then you can select for the items and select the item that is matching with your specific type of account that you are trying to open. So right now we are creating a credit card account. So select it and then click continue. Just to give you the idea that once you have selected credit card, the information about this account is coming here. Create one for each credit card your business uses. Sometimes you want to create account. So how many types of bank account you can create? You can see the petty cash account, checking account, savings account, or money market account. So once you select the specific account, you will be finding the details about it on the right side. So we are opening the credit card account. Select it, click continue, and now it will open the credit card account for you. So the number of this account is 21,000. So we'll be selecting 21,000, and then uh, account name is Riverbank Visa. Riverbank Visa. And then in the description, we'll be typing company credit card. So this is the description as per the book. You can use the words, or you can say you can use a description as per your company's policy. So right now we are typing it here. Then we have the credit card number, which is 4555. Then 4 times 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 3030. Then 4545. So you see, here we can see that example. Let's say if I want to update that account in our QuickBooks, I can always enter the opening balance, like clicking this button, and then you see I can write here whatever the balance as of such and such date. Like let's say if we are transferring all the data as of 31st of December of 2019, so we'll be typing here the balance, that this much was the balance or outstanding, or you can say credit card balance on such and such date. And here we can type the statement date, which will be 31st of December 2019 or something, and then we can start moving forward. So once you update that part, you can go okay. But right now we don't have that information available. It's just the it's just updating a new account. So we have updated it, and then save and close. Once you do save and close, it's asking you to for the QuickBook Online services. We select no right now because this is the exercises. If your company is actually working with it, uh, like online services from the QuickBook, you can use it. What I know is like until 2016, QuickBook has stopped providing these services to from this year. QuickBook has stopped providing these services like online services to the users of QuickBook 2016. For 2018, I don't know, but for 2016, they stopped providing that service. So just for your info, if your company is using 2016 QuickBooks, so they may not be getting the bank feed online. This is just for your info. And then click no. We don't want to get the bank feed, and it's done. So once we are done, let's move to the next topic, which is recording the deposits. So you see, you have sold a lot, you have done a lot of transaction in the banking here, not the banking, in the customer side, like you have received a lot of payment from different customers. You have also made payment to a lot of vendors. This is the time that you are updating those transactions into the banking. So whatever you are receiving from different customers in the shape of checks or credit cards, payment slips, or let's say you have received it in terms of the cash. So now you have to go to the bank to deposit those checks or money in the bank physically, and then once you deposit it, come back, and then you can click the record deposit, or you can click record deposit and print a slip out of it and then go and submit the money into the bank. So all of both of these things are possible as per the policy of the bank, policy of your company, or as per the convenience of the accountant. So both of these are possible. So let's say we are updating our check deposit or cash deposit into the banking. So simply click record deposit, and then you can see all of these receive payment, like all of these things that you have received are appearing here. So now you need to update all of it into your account. So the first thing is what type of transaction you want to like deposit is here. It has selected all types. We are actually depositing only the cash and checks. So you can select cash and check only. So once you select it, your search is narrowed down, and now you can see there are less transactions which are ready for depositing. And then the total of all of it is, if you select all, on the right side you can see 2260, which is matching the number the system is telling us. So we are good. We have selected all the transactions that is required by the exercise. Just in case, if you find there's a difference, then you need to make sure that uh, what further items that you need to deposit, or what are the items that you are depositing and which is not required. Just to give you the idea, maybe this transaction that you have selected, no need to deposit this one at this time, so you can just uncheck this one. Or if you maybe missing some of the transaction that happen like on 31st of December, or let's say on 30th of December, that are not available here, then you need to update, go back in the transaction, update the date so that they are visible in this transaction. So once you have selected all the checks and payments that you need to update in your account, you can just simply click OK, and all the money is deposited into your account. So the next thing is so now we are actually selecting. So now we are updating that the deposit will be done to the checking account, and it will be done on 12/30/23 and deposit. So let me move this window from here, and then you can just simply say, okay, so here we are. So here we can also do one more thing, is like we can also see how your deposit slip look like. Let's say if you want to print a deposit slip from your QuickBooks, you can also do it. So you can see here, print, click it, deposit slip. So you can just click this part, and then it will show you. Let me save it on the PDF, and then I can just show you once it is created. So let me do it on desktop. Deposit slip, and we are doing it for 12/30/23. So maybe let me save it on the right place. Classes in progress, and then save it. So now you see I have saved this deposit slip on my desktop or on my computer so that I can print it anytime. Let me open this one. So here you can see all the deposit that you are making to your bank, and it shows you the total. And then either you can take it to your bank as per your policy of your bank. Either you can take it to the bank and then deposit all of them, and then get the confirmation from the bank. So once it is done, uh, let me close it. So once it is done, you can just simply say save and close. That's it. And now we have to do one more transaction. I close it, but we need to do one more transaction. Like we have to record some more deposits into the banking. Either I could have done save and new to do the new transaction, or if I have closed it already, I can just simply open it one more time. So this time, what I'll be doing is I'll be selecting all the transaction. Like previously, if you remember, I have selected only the cash and checks. Now we will be using the payments through credit cards and e-checks for my depositing. So I can just simply select all. And then again, we'll be selecting all, click OK. And then again, it will be showing us that where the money is going. It's going to our checking account and the date is same. And then we'll be selecting save and new. So again, we need to deposit some more items. So we'll be selecting save and new. And this time we are doing a manual transaction wherein, let's say, if we have gone to one of the exhibition and there we have, so let's take the example of some fun fair or somewhere where the person went and then he sold his uh, services. Let's say he was sketching, like when we go to some exhibition, some people are like making pictures on child's faces, like face painting and these type of things. So this person has done the same thing. He actually he was making some sketches, and for that one he was charging $5 from each person. So now it's very difficult for him to keep track of all those person who came to him during the exhibition. So what he did, he just collected all the money, and now he is depositing all the money as cash without the name of the customer. So once the customer name is not there, it's very easy. You can just simply put the date here, like on which date he did this transaction. 12/23/23 is the date, and he's making deposit. He doesn't know because there are so many customers, so he just go directly here. So now what services he offered to the customer? So he offered sketching. So we can go and quick sketch uh, event. So we can just say he earned it under the design income. So let's say he want to, whatever he earned, he want to put it under the design income. So you can just simply come here, select the design income. In the memo, we can type here quick sketch event. So it depends on what type of exhibition or fair or fun fair or whatever the place we go or we sell our services. We can type in the memo that we went to this event and then we have sold our services in cash. So quick sketch event. And of course, everything was in cash. So payment method was cash. And how much money we got is $200. So just simply type $200 and then click save and close. So all the money that we have collected from different sources is now deposited into the bank. So now we'll be doing some transactions where we are actually buying some of the stuff from our vendors using our credit card. So if you see, there are two ways of working with the credit cards. One, when you are receiving payments using credit card. The other one, when you are paying use your credit card. So when you are doing receiving using receiving payments from credit card, it will be in the receive payments. If you click it, so you see credit card payment is inside this one. Or if you are using the credit sales receipts, your credit card option will be in this one. Like, but when you're paying, so whenever you're paying, it means your credit card is getting charged. So here you can see enter credit card charges. So whenever you want to pay using a credit card, you'll be using this button to pay for your expenses. So click it. And then in this one, you are actually trying to pay using your Riverbank Visa. So here we have MasterCard, select the Riverbank Visa. Always remember that you need to make sure that your account is properly selected. Maybe you have multiple accounts and in one of the account, the balance is there, but the other account, the balance is not there. If you issue the check or if you use your credit card, your check will be bounced or your credit card will be not accepted by the bank. So always make sure that you have selected the right credit card. And then you have purchased the item from Star Office Supplies. So start typing the name Star. And then for this account, the transaction was done on 11/18/23. 11/18/23. Okay. The reference number is 1, so 01. The amount was 89.09. And for this one memo, it is about office supplies. Office supplies and customer USB drive giveaway, right? So this is the event when we are giving our customers some you can say some incentive of like uh, uh, like continuing working with us, so we are just buying for them. And then let's say if I bought these items from this company, so what I do is actually uh, for this one for like for the office supplies I paid for 57.84. So if I click tab 57.84. So once I click 57.84, I whatever the remaining balance, once I tab it, automatically the remaining balance will come in the second you can say row. So in the second row, if I want to add a new item, let's say the item that I want to update here is the advertising and promotion. So that item, if I start typing here, it is not available. So I can simply select add new, and then I can see we are paying. So when we are paying, it is an expense. So you can select as the expense and then click continue. And the name of this account will be advertising and promotion. So always remember, once you don't know whether the item is there or not, so if you start typing, that account name will comes up and then you can update it. For book, we already knew that this is not there. That's why they have already selected that, select the expense and then click new or something like this. But once you're working in the company, there are so many accounts already open that you cannot like you don't know whether this account is already there or not. So once you start typing the name of the account, if it is there, it will automatically comes up and then you can update. But if the account name is not there, then you can use this select new or create new or add new, and then you can start working with the details of that specific account. So advertising and promotion, and then in the description we can type advertising and promotion including customer giveaways, and then save and close here. So once you save and close here, this you can say the expense account will be appearing here. uh, I just missed to update the number of this account, but we can update that part, no worries. So once you are done with it, you can just simply say save and close. So you remember I just missed to update one of the account, which is advertising and promotion. I can always open chart of account, and then you can see in the expenses. So all the items are actually like they are type wise. So the banks are here, then receivables. So all the top here are your asset side, and then your equity, then income, and then cost of goods sold, and then the expenses. So you can directly come here in the expenses, and then you can see here advertising and promotion is here. You can just right click, edit account, and then you can just simply update the type of account, number of account here 64,400, and then click save and close. So it's updated. So just to give you the idea that if something happens, if you miss to update something, don't get panic. It's always possible. You can always come outside of it and then you can update that part. Uh, and then once it is done, okay. So we have created one, we have just created one in, what's it called, the invoice, or we have created one credit card transaction. So you can always click here, and then you can search for the transaction using this button, and then you can see this advertising is updated here. Just in case, if you want to update the customer USB drive giveaways, you can select it from here, Control C, and make it a practice. Always do this part because it will help you once you are uh, reconciling your different statements. And then you can also do the office supplies, and then you can just simply say save and close. Because we have done some changes in the account, so it is prompting us that you have changed the transaction. Do you want to record your changes? Select yes, because we have updated the memo. Select yes, and it is updated. So after after doing this transaction, what happened is like we are now learning how to refund the let's say if we don't want some of the office supplies that we bought, we want to return it. So how you can do it? So we have bought it using our credit card. So you will find that transaction in the credit card charges. Just click it, and then you can search for that transaction using the backspace. Sorry, the find button in the back way. So you can see the transaction is here. So you want to reverse this transaction. So you can always, once you want to refund it, here is the purchase. You can say the radio button where you click it to start updating the purchases. But if you want to refund, you need to select this radio button, and then the color changes and it shows you that it's a refund or credit transaction. So you have to do this one with the star office supply. So select the customer name. If there are a lot of customers, as you can see, I cannot, like, let's say there are so many customers, I cannot find it by looking into it. I can start typing the name, and then I'll find this customer. For this customer, the transaction is being done on 11/20/23. So 11/20/23, and we are doing a return. So you can also do the R part, like the transaction number was 1. I just type R to show that it was a refund or return transaction. And the amount that we are updating is 10.46, and then memo star office return calculator. So let's say the office supplies that we bought, we are returning the calculator and getting our refund. So star office return calculator. So once it is done, you see it's already updated here. You can just copy from here, Control C, and then Control V, or copy paste. You can also copy it like this, select it, right click, and then you can copy, and you can bring your cursor in this place, and then you can just simply click the paste button. So this is also possible. So once you are done with it, you can just simply say save and close. So that's how we can return we can record the return transaction or refund transaction in our QuickBook. So the next part is we will be learning how to pay the bills that we have received from that we have to pay to our vendors. So let's click the pay bills part. In this one, we want to pay to this professional software distributors. We want to pay this money, we want to pay to this vendor the amount. So if you want to pay anything, you need to first select the transaction. And then once you select the transaction, payment part is all the way downside. So you see, you have selected that I want to pay against this transaction. You will be updating the money here, but at the same time, you have to go all the way down for the date and other information. So let's say we are paying this bill, and the date of the payment will be 11/12/27/23. We have updated a date. So mode of payment will be check. So it's already selected, and then select the assigned check number. So what we are doing, we are trying to pay using the debit card, and debit card is normally used with the checking account. So only difference is for the checks you are printing the check number. For the debit card, you don't have the check number. You will be clicking the assign check number, and instead of check number, you will be printing or typing DB or any other process that your company is maintaining. Let's say DB means debit card, or your company type the entire debit card, or whatever your company processes. Just follow that one. So once you select assign check number, and then you say pay selected bill. So now here it says to give you the check number, because you have used the checking account. So you can see here you have used a checking account. So you have to give here the check number. But because you have paid it by debit card, so we'll be typing here DB to show that it's not a check, it's a debit card. So once you use the detail as per your process, the company's process, you can simply click OK, and the transaction is done. So if you want to pay more bills, You can like select pay mobile, but if right now we are done with the payments, so we can just simply say done. That's it. Now we'll be learning how to work with the receive payment. So we have done the like we have done the payment part. Now let's say we receive the payments. So how we can do, because all of these things, like when you're receiving the payment, when you're paying the bills, they are all impacting on your banking. So we have just done the payment part on the banking. Now we'll be learning how to work with the receiving part in the banking. So let's say if you want to do some transaction in the receive payment part, you can just simply click receive payments. It is in the customers. So in this one, uh, the transaction is like maybe one of your customers' check is bounced. So let's say he deposited the check, and this is the time that his check was bounced. So how you can update that part? So the check that was bounced was from Lucy's Cupcake Factory. So you'll be selecting the name of the customer. See, either you can also search the name of the customer using this button. Now you can go back, and then you can reach the Lucy's Cupcake Factory. You can also do the same search using the this is the check number. Let's see. The check number was 341. So let me show you one more thing. Let's say if you are trying to find that transaction, you can also use the like search option. Lucy. So if you select it, update search. See, the check number was 341. You can see here the Lucy's check number is available here. Once you click it, you will be in the same transaction. So this is also possible. Another way of doing it is like, let me close it. You can also search the same transaction using the search button, select it, and then you are looking for a transaction with Lucy. Sorry, we have already done this part. So let's say if you want to go with the find option. So in this one, select the check number, check, and then check number was 341. So select the 341, and then click find. Lucy, let's type find. Lucy, find. Maybe it may help. No. So this check was not appearing. Let's do the transaction using this button. Yeah. So this check has not impacted yet. So maybe this is the reason it's not appearing here. But let's say if the check was passed and updated, then it would have come. But system is not giving me the information about this specific uh, details. So I can just simply select the name of the customer, Lucy, Cupcake Factory, and then find. And then you can see I can find the transaction using this one. So only the invoice was created. The amount was not yet applied, or you can say that transaction was not completed because the check was not passed. So that's why check number was not able to find that one. So yeah. So but you can find the transaction using the name of the customers here. Uh, so let's go to our transaction again. So you can again go to the receive payment. Now we'll be doing as per the book. So we'll be going to receive payments and going all the way back using this previous button until we find the Lucy Cupcake Factory. And in this one, we find that the check number is 341, and we can see that the amount payment was $200, which was applied. So we are making this check as like bounce check. So uh, this part is uh, like it's possible using the button which is on the screen here. Uh, let me see if we can do that part using the edit button or any other button. No. So we only have one option available, which is on the screen, record bounce check. So just click it, and the check is marked as the like ready for marking as bounce. But always whenever the transaction is like when the check is bounced, the bank normally charges us for some money. So let's say the bank charged us $30, so we are charging that money to our customer. The transaction date was 12/20/23. 12/20/23. Always remember that we are doing all the transactions in future. So like right now. So whenever you are doing the exercises, make sure that you have updated the date. But when you are working in the real time scenarios, of course, your date will be updated automatically because it will be in the present date. So 30, once it is updated, then you can just go to the next one. So bank will be charging us $30, but we can also penalize the customer for getting their checks bounced. So for this transaction, we are charging customers $40. So once it is done, click next, and this is how your transaction will look like. Your check number so and so will be like taken out. This $200 will be taken out from your account. $30 will also be minus from your account because of the as of the service charges. So you actually pay it to the bank, or your account will be down by $230, and you will be charging or sending an invoice of $40 to your customer. So if you agree with these numbers, just simply click next or finish, and that's done. So now this check will be marked as bounce check. And then we don't have to do further transaction similar ones. So we can just simply say save and close. So now, this is the last exercise that we are doing here, like for today. Then I'll be working with your like screens, and we'll try to finish all of these exercises in your computer. But for today, we'll be working with the last item, which is reconciliation. So let's do this part. Whatever we are doing in the transaction, like in the banking, we need to make sure that the transactions are properly done in the books, in our books, and also they are matching with the records in banks and everywhere. So what we do normally is like whenever they are sending us the statement, let's say the banks are sending us a statement monthly basis, sometimes quarterly or half yearly as per your settlement with the bank, that whenever they are sending you those reports or statements, so you are matching your balances and transactions, that they happen the same way as it is appearing in the banking. So let's say if you have issued a check to a customer, but he to a vendor, and he has not deposited into their account, so what will happen? You will, in your books, the check money will be gone, but in the banking, the money will still be there. So your balances will not be matching. And if it happens for, let's say, 2 months or 3 months, after 3 4 months, you will not know which of your checks are actually deposited, or which of your checks have not been deposited, and you are still carrying that money. And taking decision based on those scenarios will become difficult. Let's say you today you check your balance as $1,000 because one of your vendor has not collected his money. His check was $300. You issue another check of, let's say, $900, and by the time your this vendor gone to the bank, the other vendor has already taken out his money. So now in your account there is only $700, but the check you issued is $900. So in order to take the wise decision, you need to make sure that your books are in line with your banking. You can say the numbers in bank is matching with your books. So for that one, we are doing the reconciliation. uh, this is one of the example, but there are many. Sometimes we want to make sure that there is no fraud is going on in your account. Let's say if there's a fraud going on in your account, someone has taken out money from your account, or someone has done a fraud, like some outside source has taken out money from your account. All of these different scenarios are there where you want to make sure that that has not happened to your account, and that's why you are reconciling sometimes in 15 days or 1 month, depend on how many transactions you are doing on monthly basis. So let's do the reconciliation. Reconciliation in QuickBook is very easy. The first thing is you can see it's about the banking. No, so it's not necessary that you can do it only for the banking. One thing to understand, but yes, mostly we are doing it for the banking transaction because these are happening outside of our, you can say, uh, our hands. Let's say you don't know who is depositing into your bank account because he or she owe you. So you don't know what's going on in your account sometimes. So, and the bank is updating their charges and everything all the time. So you don't know what's going on in your account. So that is the reason we need to reconcile, especially the bank account at least every month. So let's say if I want to do the reconciliation, I can always go to the reconcile, which is in the banking, like in here, or I can go to the banking tab on the top, and I can simply uh, go and click the reconcile button from here. So let's say if I click the reconcile here, it and then we can see that there are a lot of information or a lot of different accounts that we can use, like savings accounts, and then we have the other unreported funds, then the assets like furniture and equipments, and then we have the liabilities, all other different equity and other things that we can do the reconciliation. But right now we are doing the reconciliation of our check account. So the date of the transaction or the reconciliation is 30th September 23, 9/30/23 is already there. Opening balance is the last month's closing balance. So we can see that it's already fixed. It's not going to change. But yes, once you close today's, you'll be getting the bank from a bank statement, you'll be getting the number. Let's say the ending balance, which is the outstanding or the closing balance of your account in your statement, you'll be putting that number here. So for this transaction, it is 6768.70. So now you have updated that the closing balance. So now you'll be updating if there is any bank charges or something that you have paid to the bank separately, it will be, you have to update it here. If you want to pay some interest or something that you have earned during the month, you have to update it here. So for this month, we have earned $11.52. So we need to update it here. And then it was earned on this date, and it will be created. See, you see, the same way, the way we have the expense account, different expense account, like we are putting our utility bills in different one, rent in different one, all other expenses in different account, like the stationery and other marketing material and other different expense account. The same way, when we are earning, we are putting our earning in different accounts as well. So we know which of our business is giving us more money. So this is the interest income. So you can just type here, and you can see I have interest expense. Like if bank charge me, I have created one account for that one, but I don't have any interest income available here. So what I can do, I can just simply click, either I can select add new, or I can just say interest income and then click tab. Once you click tab, it will give you the setup. The same way we have done before. In a different way, we have selected add new. You can do the similar way before as well. Like could have typed the entire name, and you could have you have pressed the tab on your keyboard. It will give you the option of setup, and you could have done. So that this time I have selected the different way. So now we can just click setup. Then you can update all the information. So it's income, other income, and then interest income from savings, money market, and checking account, right? So once I did this part, the number for this one is 42,600, right? And then any other information, so it's other income. So everything is corrected, is selected, and then just say save and close. Once you save it, you see this item is saved as your account, and then you can just simply say continue. So now reconciliation is very important. You need to make sure that if you remember that we are doing it for the September of 2023, but you can see a lot of transactions were happened after September, like October 23, or October, then November, then December. So if you have transactions happen in different dates and you are trying to match for September, their numbers will not match. Here also you can see some of the transactions are dating uh, like after the month we were working with. So you see my period is 30th September 2023. So I can also do one thing, which is we can hide the transaction that happened after the statement end date. So if we click it, and now we only remain with few transactions that need to be reconciled for the month of September. So once I got the narrowed down result, I can just simply click mark all, and now you can see my difference is 0. This part is important. If you find any problem or any difference in this place or any number in the difference, it means your account is not reconciled. You need to make sure that all the transactions are done properly, all the checks are done, or wherever your number is not matching. Let's say if it's not matching, then you have to take out the bank statement and you need to see one by one all the transactions that happen. You have to mark it in your records and in the banking and make sure that which of the transaction is making the difference. So let's say if all of the things are matching, you can just simply say save and close or reconcile now. That's it. And your transaction is done. So now you can download the report, like one is the summary, the other one is detail. You can also download the report as both. So let me uh, click the display, and then the report is here. Click OK. So now you can see the report is ready. The only thing is, like, if you want, always remember that reconciliation report is very important. Whenever the auditor comes in, they will be asking for the reconciliation report every month end, for every month end. So always at the month end, download the reconciliation report, tally it, make sure that there's no differences in that one, save a copy. And saving a copy in QuickBooks is very easy. See, it's a print tab here. You can just click it and then click it as save as PDF. So once you click it save as PDF, uh, so this is about, I'm just saving it in your report folder, and then you can give this exercise, this report a name like reconciliation report. This one is summary, so you can give it reconciliation summary. The report is of 9.30.23. Always remember that uh, the slash is not working in the windows. Like when you are trying to save any of your document, if there is a slash, it will not save it. So instead of slash, you can use dot or any other thing. Like I have chosen the like a dot here. So once you put it, simply say save. If let's say if I'm working with a group of companies and one of the companies average guy design, so I can also type before reconciliation, I can type the name of the company, average guy design, or AGD, depends on what is our practice. And then you can just simply say reconciliation summary as of such and such date. So once you save it, it is done. Then you can close this one because now you have a record of this. Now you have another detailed report. Again, you can go to the print area, save as PDF. And then this one is, the other one was reconciliation summary. I can just simply change the detail to summary to details. Right. And then click save. So now you saved your summary and detail both for the reconciliation of customer. For the reconciliation of your checking account, and then now you can close this part as well, because you already know that your reconciliation is matched because there was no difference in the account. So you are good, but you want to save it for your auditors and other management so that you can show it to them when they want it. So you're done. So let's like we keep it until here, and then in the next class we'll be learning how to make some corrections or make changes in the transaction. Just let me check one part more. So let's do one more transaction, which is like fixing banking transaction. If we do a transaction in banking and if we want to correct it, let's say we make a mistake while doing it, how we can correct it. That's the last topic that we are learning for the banking here. So let's say if we have a credit card uh, that was marked as the expense. So I have a question. So credit card or like the credit card you're using is an expense, or what type of account it is? Credit card is an expense, like you are paying your credit card bills, right? So is it
Yes.
or what? So yeah. So the only thing is, like, you need to remember one thing. Credit card is not an expense. Credit card is a mean or is a device that is helping you pay your expense. So let's say today you have bought one let's say you have paid your electricity bill using your credit card, or you have paid your uh, insurance using your credit card. So actually you have not paid your like credit card is not your expense. You have paid your insurance, that is your expense. You have paid your electric bill, that is your expense, but you use your credit card instead of money, you paid by your credit card. So credit card is not your expense. So we need to make sure that credit card is not appearing in your you can say expense account. So this is the mistake that someone was creating the credit card in the chart of accounts, or you can say in the balance sheet or income statement item, they created it as an expense. So we need to make sure that we can take it out from the expense account. Just to give you the idea, we are paying our mortgages every month. So uh, like let's say if I maybe just to give you the idea, maybe we mortgage is one type of expense we are paying as like you can say uh, it would be difficult to explain, but let's say if we are trying to uh, pay our grocery bills, or let's say if we are trying to pay our some other bill, let's say utility bills or something. So technically the expense is not the credit card and we pay it by the credit card, so technically that would not be you can say the expense. That the credit card will not be the expense. The expense is the one that you actually uh, paid for. Let's say if you are paying for grocery, grocery is your expense. You are paying it by credit card, so it means you are using credit card to pay for your expense. uh, I was about to give you the example of mortgage. Normally, as I know, we cannot pay our mortgages using credit card. We are paying using cash. So that's why I was just I stopped there, because I know that that will not be possible. But yes, so whenever you, let's say if you are paying for your grocery, so you either take out the cash and give it to the cashier. So that grocery is your expense and cash is the payment. But instead of cash, what you did, you pay by your credit card and then you pay your cash to settle the credit card. So you are actually creating yourself an account payable, like, but that payable is not for your, you can say your credit card, but actually you are paying your expenses, or you are paying for your expenses that you have done before. Uh, so that was a mean, or you can say uh, that is your that is an item to help you pay your expenses, but itself it is not an expense. Yes, but when it comes to the credit card charges, let's say if you don't pay on time and then you're paying interest, that interest is an expense. If there is a charges like annual charges by the credit card, that annual charges is an expense. So whenever you are paying for the interest, or whenever you're paying for the bank charges, those are your expenses. But when it comes to the payment of your regular monthly bills because of the transaction you have done in the month, those bill amounts are actually not your you can say the payments, or you can, these are not your expenses, these are payment of your credit cards. So let's start working with one of the thing. Here we can see that in the chart of account, one of the credit card in here downside, discover card, is marked as an expense. So as we have just discussed, that credit card itself is not an expense, it is a mean to pay your expenses. So there are different ways. If you want to edit it, you can either go to edit option on the top and then edit account, or you can click account here, click edit account, or you can just right click and edit account. All the three ways will work. So let's do this part. The number is 62,300, so we'll be changing it to 23,000, and this expense will be changing it to credit card. That's it. And the description, it's company credit card. So once it's updated, just simply say save and close, and this is corrected. So now you see this 23,000 from the expenses, it has now come to our credit card, which is our uh, technically these items are our asset side. So you can see here all our banking and everything is in this space, right? And then we have, now we are doing one more transaction. Like there's a transaction that we have done uh, using our credit card. But the only thing is, like once we have done that transaction, uh, the problem happened is like uh, this, the transaction was done by uh, credit card, but it was actually not a transaction by credit card. It was a transaction of debit card. So we are correcting that part. So let's go to Because we have done it using the credit card, so we have to find that transaction using credit card charges. We can also find it using the edit button, but let's say we go with the edit here, and then you can search the transaction of Riverbank MasterCard. So it was a transaction of Riverbank MasterCard, and now we can search for it like here. So graphic art supply, this was the transaction, and the transaction was of so this is the transaction that was appearing in the like in the credit card, but this was not done by the credit card, but we the average guy design actually used debit card to pay for this transaction. So the problem is because the transaction was not done using the credit card, but when the credit card statement comes in, the account detail of the credit card and the account detail with him are not matching. So now he is correcting that mistake. So how he does it? He is deleting this transaction. So how you can delete it? Just simply you are already in this transaction. Go on the top. See the delete button is here. You can delete from here, or you can make void. So depend what your company wanted. You can do that part. You can also do that. You can also do that thing from here, edit, and then you can do the void, or you can also do the delete. So these options are available here as well. So once you have selected it for this transaction or for this exercise, we are doing deletion. So just delete it. Always remember, whenever you're working with the financial numbers, deletion is not advisable item. Always try to go with the void part, or like say inactivate part. Let's say if you are deleting a customer or vendor, inactivate them. If you are deleting a transaction, rather void the transaction instead of deleting. But yes, as per the exercise, we are uh, like deleting it. If you delete the transaction, all the backend trail will be gone. But if you void the transaction, the backend trail will remain there. So when the auditor comes in, it would be easier for you to defend yourself, or you can tell them that what happened on that day. So let's do this thing. So once you say, it says okay, and now the transaction is gone. So now we will be using like our debit card to pay for this amount. So we can just simply go to write checks, select the vendor, like it's already there, checking account, and then select the vendor. So that was a graphic supply shop. Select the vendor, graphic supply shop, and then the amount was 164.50. Date was 10/30/23. 10/30/23. So one thing to remember is like we have selected so I can see here that the check number is coming as 1260. I just want to make sure that it is, yeah. So instead of 1260, we have to type DB because it's a debit card transaction. So this is done, and then graphic supply, and the amount is 164.50, 164.50. And then you can just simply select purchasing, copy in. I pasted something. Purchasing, Control C, just Control V, and then save and close. That's it. So that's how you can just simply correct a transaction. So what we did actually, we have done this transaction using the credit card. So we have deleted that transaction. You could have also done the void transaction in your book so that the transaction would be appearing as void instead of deleting. And then you can do the same transaction again using the debit card option. So this is what we have done here. Like just if you are confused, so you can see here, you can always like select the transaction by going to that specific transaction, going back, or front. So once you find that transaction, right now we don't have any transaction appearing here. Let me see some other credit card and then try to find it. So let's say if this is the transaction that I want to make void or something, I can always select the transaction, and then let's say this transaction, I can always select void or delete, or if I have other transaction, I can also make it void or delete. And once I do the change, I can save and close here and then go back to the transaction because it was not done using the credit card. So I can delete it from there. And then because the transaction was done using the debit card is attached to your checking account. So you'll be going to your checking account, like which is the right checks. And then you can do the transaction here in this place, the same way we are doing other transactions. And just instead of the check number, we just type here DB, which says debit card transaction. So once we have done it, we update the information here and then just say save and close, and the transaction is corrected. So that's it about the banking part of the QuickBooks. So let's see if we can work with your screens and then try to finish all of these transactions within the banking part. So let me pause the recording just in case if you need. I want to record one more thing here. So you see, if you go on the top, so you can select the bills based on the date or something. See, there's an option of due on or before, right? So if you go on the left side, show bills, yeah, select it, the first one, and just make it like December 31, 2023. So 12, 31, 30, 2023, 12, 31, 2023, yeah, tab. So right now we have only these bills, so they are only appearing. But let's say if you have more bills, all of those will be appearing here. So you can select it by the date, or you can also select like different type of bill. If you see on the right side, the filter by, select it. See how many ways you can do it. So customer wise, from here you can do it, right? Let's say if you are working with the Bayshore City Water, just select the second one, Bayshore City Water. Yeah. So now you see, you can only see the one bill. You can only see one bill. Sometimes you also want to sort them by the due date. So if you select the due date, but for that one, you need to first select all of them up, like go on the, yeah, select it, all vendors, right? And then select by due date. It's already selected. So select one more time. Yeah, select one more time. So let's say if you, no, that's fine. The downside, yeah. Go to the top one more time, click OK, right? Select all vendors, yeah, and then click this one, yeah, select it, and then let's say there are different things you can do, like let's say the not discount rate. Let's say go with the uh, amount to pay. Go to the second one, yeah. So you see, because you have selected the higher the amount, it will come first. So that comes on the top. And then like this is the way you can select or find the different bills which are due on different dates. One more time, just select all the bills, filter by all, yeah, select all vendors, and then on the left side, show all bills, show all bills on the left side, on the left side, on the left side, all the way down, all the way left, all the way left. We are just making as per the book, yeah. And then select the professional software, the one that we need to pay for today, all the way left, all the way left. Checkbox, yeah, put the checkbox, yeah. And then once you have selected it, now for the payments, you'll be going downside and selecting all the things that you need to update. So the date will be uh, 20, 12, 27, 23, that's correct. And the mode of payment will be check. And then you need to select assign check number. And because we are doing this transaction using the, I think, debit card or something, right? Yeah, so we are paying it by debit card. So we'll be assigning the check number. We can also issue the check number if you want to, but right now for this exercise, we are assigning the check number uh, by the DB because it's a debit card transaction. So click pay selected bills, and then you can type here DB. If you are issuing the check, like printing a check manually, you can type the check number here, and then click. Right now, just click DB, which is debit. DB, B for boy.
Oh, DB.
Debit. Yeah, and then click OK. So that's how you can do a transaction. So again, it says, do you want to pay more bills? Right now, we are only doing this one. So we're selecting done. That's it, right? So that's how you can pay the bill using the credit card charges. So let me pause. Once we have done the exercise entirely, I can tell you that from which place to which place you can work. Like if you want to do the exercises, we have page number. Page number 123. In this one, we can do the transaction, all the transactions that are on this page until like end of report, like all the things, like all the transactions that are here, like all the exercises we can do on page number 123 and 124. And starting from 126, we can go all the way until 136. So you can feel that we, or you can say that we can do the exercises all the way from 123 to 136. Do as much as you can. If you cannot do it, no worries. We still have one more day. And then we'll be having a long weekend. You can practice on that day as well. Yeah. But the only thing is, the more you practice, the more it will work. Like the more comfortable with you, you will be more comfortable with the transactions. Okay.
Yes.
So if you have any question, I'm here. Otherwise, we are good for the day.
That's all we done today, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Reconciliation is the last topic.
Reconciliation is the topic that we have covered for today, but there are some other transactions remain that we'll be covering in the next class. But those are mostly the reporting and these type of things. These are not working with banking. Those are like reporting part and other thing that I will be discussing with you how to work with that one. But yes, banking part is mostly is done like until reconciliation. Reconciliation is the last topic when you are working with the banking. So we have done until that one.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yes. So
if you have anything to ask,
no, that's it.
that's
Yeah,
Spencer. So see you both on
Wednesday.
Wednesday, right? On Wednesday. And
Okay.
then just if I'm telling you one more time, because I know that we missed some of the transactions, like
Mhm.
in your report. That's why we were unable to do the reconciliation and everything.
Yeah.
But don't worry about it. If you find it, it's fine. If you don't find it, we'll do it or finalize the transaction on Wednesday. Okay. So just try
Okay.
to finish it by yourself. Otherwise, we can do it on Wednesday. And
Okay.
I
Thank you.
gave you
we did
some
the
five.
delete thing too, right? So should I do it?
Which one? Sorry.
We delete the some transactions, River Bank Mastercard.
Yeah, so we can do that deletion as well, but as as per exercise we are deleting, but normally when you are working in the company you don't delete. You normally void the transaction. Why? Because you want to have a trail. Once
Yeah.
you delete it, there will be no trail of the transaction.
Okay.
Okay. So
But
yeah,
for the exercise, we can do it.
for the exercise, of course, you have to do it because system wants you to learn. Like
Yeah.
QuickBook wants you to learn how to delete the transaction,
Yeah.
just in case if you want to delete the transaction. But normally in the in the offices we don't delete, we make the transaction void.
Okay.
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 So
Okay.
okay,
See you
so
Wednesday.
yeah, see you on Wednesday and have a nice
Okay. Thank you.
yeah, rest of the day.
Bye.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.